Hi everybody, my name is Frank, and today I'm going to start a painting of a female face with very dramatic shading on one side of the face. If you need a little bit of help or to brush up on your drawing techniques, you can use this book here that I did, and it also shows how to shade the face, how to draw the female face, and how to shade in the dark parts. I'll be using this paper here, which is a mixed media paper, and it's a 98-pound paper. It's very thick and it's very good for watercolor use. I'll be using these inks and these watercolors here. So let's get started. I already painted in the part of the hair, and the reason for that is because I wanted to use that as my sort of my measure as to how dark I want to go in, and do the shadowing on the face. So whenever you're going to do a face with really dark shadow on it, I think it's a good idea to go ahead and do the hair first. So I'll start down here. It just helps you to get sort of a measure of how dark you're going to go in. Otherwise, you won't go in as dark, and then when you do the hair, you'll see that you should have gone in a lot darker. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by painting the side of her face that's going to be in the dramatic shadow area. And just go ahead and put a layer of paint on the entire side of this face. And don't be afraid to just go in and do the whole part like that. Yeah, just like this, and then she's going to have shade under her eye. And part of the nose right there. And for this face, we're gonna go ahead and shade that side of her nose right there. And the color that we're using here is burnt sienna. And I like to use this color whenever I paint faces. I like it because it's like a skin tone it's kind of like a tan colored, I would say. It has some very warm tones in it. And there are other colors that you can use. You can use like raw umber. You can even use burnt umber. Lots of colors. I think it's best to experiment and find the color that you like best, because it's just up to you. Okay, this side is all in shade, and then we're doing the lower part of the neck right there. Okay, I'm going to go in and do some more layer work here. And you see how I just painted the whole side like that. So I know it can be kind of scary sometimes to do that, to just paint the whole part like that. And then we have the part of the face that's going to be in the light. And that part this part we just want to outline it just a little bit. And we'll use like a little lighter wash. Yeah, we're doing a very light wash now on this side. Part of the nose. And again, when you're doing the nose, you don't want to do too much. So if you go dark on one side, try to go a little bit lighter on the other side. And I have this paper here that I use as my test. Excuse me. I'm going to put a little bit more layer work here on this side. Okay, a little bit darker. And it's always a good idea to get some, use a good brush for this. Because a good brush is always really will help you a lot with your technique. A little bit more darker there. Okay, and then now we're gonna go in and use the darker color of burnt umber to go in and do and we're just gonna like sort of define the darker parts of the face right here. Okay. And I'm going right here just very lightly. And if you want to thin that, if you feel that your wash is too thick or too dark, just thin it out a little bit. But you know, always test it on your paper that you have here. Test it out and then go ahead and apply it. And we're just going to apply this on the areas that will be a little bit darker, like the edges right here of the portrait, and then right here the eye socket will be completely in a darker tone. All of this right here, and just a little bit on the nose. Probably just going to do the tip, a little bit under the lip. And also with this color, I also just will paint in the lip, this color, and then later on I'll add a red color on top of this. But also the lip is in shade, the whole lip, the whole upper lip, you want to shade that. And then since this side of the face is in shade, try to darken this side of the lip a little bit more. And always leave your white as your absolute highlight, which will be the shiny part of the face of the lip. Okay, and then you want to use more dark here on the eye area. And go down the bridge of her nose, just very little. Right here, very little on the bridge of her nose. Okay. And you see how this is really adding a lot of dimension to her face. And you can go in darker here. But it does add a lot of depth and dimension. And don't be afraid of using of going in dark like this with your watercolors or whatever paints you're using, because you really can make some very dramatic paintings by doing this, by not being afraid and going in and just going in as dark as you can on this entire area. Now I'll go in and do I'm going to do another layer of the burnt sienna on the whole area, make it go even a little bit darker, as you can see there. And this is a very light layer that I'm using here, so I'm going to go in and make it all even darker. You can probably go in as dark as you want. here. Yeah, I'm going in darker. The whole, and it's the whole side of the face, because it's all in shade by the sword that she has is causing her to have this deep shadow right there. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and do another video on this, and we'll finish it up. So thanks for watching, and like I said, if you need help with your shading, this book right here will tell you all about how I do the shading, and it's available on Amazon.com. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.